What if we had the ability to deliver satellites into space in just 180 minutes without using rockets? Well, an Alabama-based startup Aevum unveiled a new launch system unlike anything that we have ever seen before, and the company is already ready to show off some of their hardware, starting with the Ravn X system. Traditionally, satellites are launched into orbit using rockets that carry tons of propellants. The propellants are responsible for the energy that these rockets require to travel against the Earth's gravity. So larger and heavier spacecrafts need a lot of propellant. The promise of a drone that can carry a payload to low Earth orbit in approximately 3 hours will shorten lead times on satellite launches from years to months. But wait a second, we already have SpaceX with the reusable rocket systems. So why do we even need something else? Well, the Ravn X is a drone that is capable of delivering satellites to space, and it will get rid of all the issues that we have with rocket launches of today. Satellite delivery is not a cutting-edge technology anymore because SpaceX is doing it almost every week. But the problem with the rocket launchers is that it's extremely expensive and time-consuming. With the Ravn X, the company will be able to launch satellites for $4 to $8 million, while a Falcon 9 launch will cost anywhere up to $67 million. The company laid the groundwork almost 7 years ago in their makeshift headquarters, which was basically a very old textile factory in Alabama. Now that factory is a tech incubator, and the company is now working on drones that can deliver satellites in space. Impressive. One of the significant features of this drone is the fact that it does not need a launch pad, as this unmanned aerial vehicle is capable of takeoff and landing from any runway that's a mile long. The company is also working on an entirely new paradigm of space access, which happens to be autonomous launch systems. This means that unlike ground or air launch systems, autonomous launch involves a global, fully autonomous, self-flying, self-managing, self-operating intelligence system of systems called the autonomous launch architecture. The Ravn X can function in a self-operational mode from a standby state to the takeoff procedures. After completing its delivery, it would safely return to the hangar, and all of this is done without human intervention. The autonomous feature of this drone will bring so many benefits for industries such as intelligence, defense, e-commerce, logistics, advanced analytics, weather monitoring, climate change and agriculture. The drone can do a maximum speed of 650 miles per hour or 1,046 kilometers per hour, over 6,000 feet, or 18,288 meters altitude. According to a report by CNET, the drone would fly itself to a specified altitude where it would launch a rocket that would be carrying a payload of several small satellites. The launch system is already 70% reusable, and the company is working on making it 100%. This drone is no different from every other aircraft out there. But it only needs 1 mile of runway to get in air, allowing it to take off from almost any commercial airport, and it also uses the same field as a traditional jet. But the company wants to do more than just delivering satellites to space. They are also planning to introduce cargo services because it will reduce both labor costs by almost 90% and fuel costs by flying direct to more destinations. It also helps to solve the problem of asset utilization of space launch and air cargo with unprecedented efficiency. The company also stated that the best reused rocket boosters see no more than 4 hours of total flight time in a year, leaving these expensive assets totally underutilized for well over 8,000 hours annually. On the other hand, some of the most efficient air cargo companies will utilize these drones up to 15 hours per day, or about 5,475 hours annually. This way the company could change the entire industry with their drone, and they are also planning to fly their drones around the clock every day for maximum efficiency. The Ravn X is genuinely a massive drone, weighing about 25 metric tons or 55,000 pounds. It measures 80 feet or 24 meters in length and reaches up to 18 feet or 5.5 meters high, with a wingspan of 60 feet or 18 meters. The design team did a magnificent job with their out-of-the-world design, especially considering the fact that the primary mission of this drone is to deliver satellites into orbit in an extremely short time span. Ravn X is said to reach its target in less than 180 minutes from the initial planning, so this is undoubtedly a highly efficient drone that could deliver satellites to orbit. The Ravn X drone also boasts a high degree of functionality with its reusable launch stages. The Ravn X's fully autonomous first stage is powered by 2 afterburning turbine engines, and the 2 other stages are propelled by liquid combustion rocket engines. So, what is the current status of this project? Well, the company already acquired more than $1 billion in contracts, including contracts from the U.S. Space Force to deliver 360 satellites to low Earth orbit for the upcoming ASLON-45 mission, which is positive news for the company. ASLON-45, for those of you who don't know, is the first formal small launch mission contracted by the U.S. Space Force under its SRP-O program. Ultimately, the Ravn X might change the way we deliver satellites in space, and SpaceX will now have a true competitor from a different company, one that does not make rockets, but just drones. Aevum states that the drone will represent the new paradigm of putting rockets into space, and the autonomous aspect of these drones will totally change the game. As a result, maybe we could have more satellites than ever before. Today the company is completely reimagining access to space because the current system of delivering rockets is simply not efficient and there is a lot of room for improvement.